What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Cyrus Obsidian here at Obsidian Games, here to bring you another spooky local diary. So let us swing on in. So here we are at locals already. I missed the opportunity to record at the studio, so here we are. We are rolling in with another spooky episode. Last time we had played Dark Worlds. We went into the Dark World and we came up on top. Now we're coming in with some servants and a little bit of little guys to kind of back us up as we go into a pile of bones. If you haven't guessed it by now, we're playing Skull Servant. So Skull Servant's a friend favorite that I decided to pick up and try. We'll show you the deck profile at the end of the video, just because I didn't have time to record before leaving the studio. So we're just going to jump right in and see how we can do with this deck. It is a pile deck. I wish we had that grass. That would definitely propel the deck a little bit further than what it is, but we're playing without it and we'll see how we do. So let's jump into the locals and see how we can go. So I kind of clickbaited the intro. So I was hunting to see if we can get the last remaining Mimighoul stuff that I needed to finish the deck. And we did. So we're changing up the deck last minute and we're playing Mimighoul. So game one, round one, we're playing against Chimera Illusion. And we just opened up the nuts. They had no interruptions. We were able to just flood their board. They couldn't normal. They were locked out. We had room set. We had Giant, Throne, Master. We were prepped. And we still had a couple cards in hand too. So it was mainly follow-up. So, and then game two, just the unicorn package was just so clutch, so we took it there. I am excited to be playing the deck. I know I'm late to the party in playing it. I've been wanting to play it ever since the support was announced, and then I had the original, so like this is the full final version, my version that we're going to be playing with. But don't you worry, I will still play the Skull Servant deck. Most likely this next locals, because I do want to play it. It seems very fun. So we're still going to be prepped to play it, but for now we're sticking with Mimighoul to see if we can top with Mimighoul. I'm excited. I believe there's 4 rounds tonight, so 3 rounds to go. So we still got a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh to play. So let's see what happens. Oh boy! So round 2 we didn't get a record for. We do have footage for, so that'll be up. But round 2 and into round 3, since round 3 we went straight, or round 2 we went into time for 2 games. Play against Voiceless Voice. So game 1. He opened first, I think. If I remember right, I think he opened first, and we just had the gas like to break it. We went first. We won the die roll, and we were able to bait through some of his hand traps through Unicorn and the small Cashier engine that we play. Dungeon was resolving, and we were just able to go with a full Mimighoul combo. We were able to take it in the grind. It was a really, really big grind game, so I mean, surprisingly, I got it. Game 2, he went first, and boy, we had the nuts hand. We had even the Cosmic, the 2 Mimighouls we needed. I think there was something else in there. It was so goated. It was like the best hand I've ever seen. We let him establish his board. We had Shifter. That's right. And then I think an Ash as well. So we had Shifter, Ash, Cyclone, evenly, and a Mimighoul Archfiend. Drew for turn, drew into slime. We went main, battle, dropped evenly. He kept a sets spell. So we made 2, Cosmic did away, and we just went full Mimighoul combo to just take the game. So I mean, it was insane. Oh, we ended up burning him for damage too at the end with Mimighoul Giant to take the game. So I mean, we were able to get that. Round 3. To play against Tri-Brigade Fire King. My opponent goes first, and somewhere along the line we had to get a judge ruling in because he effed up along the line and it was an irreparable game state, so we took game 1. Game 2 he goes first. We had Shifter and Molcharmy Perulia. Honestly, that 2 combo, it was so nice to see. I was hoping it was going to be Dogwood, but we'll take it. And off of my draws of Perulia, which are 2 Shifter, which is hilarious. So I'm like, okay, well, at least we know we're not drawing into Shifter anymore. But dead cards. We were able to go into a kind of like a Mimighoul line. He did flip Power Sink Stone, so we were having to play around that. But thankfully, we just didn't activate monster effects. He activated one, which put a counter on it, but we didn't get a second counter on it. So I was able to Zeus the board, and then went back to him. We Zeused his board. He couldn't do anything, and we just drew. We could have gone into a combo with armor and slime and Cerberus because we had those in hand with shifters, but I was too dumb, didn't see it, and we just let him play. But had we had seen it, we probably could have done a pretty good combo with giant and just been able to like do some effects there. But we ended up taking it in the grind since he wasn't able to draw the out, and he didn't have any valid targets for the Tri-Brigade engine anymore, so we were able to take it. We are 3-0 with one more round left, and we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm loving this build. I'll show you the build right as soon as we head back to the lab, but it is cooking. So the one matchup I was not looking forward to, because we always just seem to have a bad match against this, is Chimera Illusion. But this time it was Chimera Azamina. So game one, he opened, or no, did I open first? I think I opened first. I opened first, but like he had like all the response. He had super poly, even though we triple tacked. I wasn't worried about super poly. Should have been. Wanted the Diabell Star, the Chimera, like he had it all. And what I had just wasn't enough to stall out. We did a grind game, and surprisingly, I ran out of Mimighoul names, and that sucked. So then game two, I opened Shifter. So I was like, all right, Shifter will carry. Shifter will carry. Carried for a bit, but he cracked the board and just took it. Getting rid of the field spell sucked because he had Cosmic Cyclone, and then we ended up losing it from there because we didn't have a way to floodgate him. So that round was the only round I never saw a Kashtira engine, which really sucked. Because the Kashtira engine definitely would have helped out, even though it's small. It definitely would have helped out a bit, just being able to like take a peek at with Unicorn, Fenrir being able to stop some advantages. But it is what it is. We ended up 3-1. So we're still going to top. So that's good. But let's head back to the studio, and I'll tell you what place we got, and we'll show you the deck profile. All right, huge shout out to all those at locals that was able to help me finish putting the deck together. There was just a couple missing pieces that I needed, but thankfully they came through and they were able to help. So sticking on theme, we kind of did play zombie in a way, but starting off with our Mimighoul engine, we are playing 2 copies of Master, 3 copies of Mimighoul Dragon, 3 copies of Archfiend, 3 copies of Fairy, 2 copies of Slime, 1 Cerberus, and 1 Armor. So from this, I would only change one thing, and that is putting Master to 1. Needing it at 2 never came up, because you're able to bring it back from the graveyard, you're able to get it back. So I mean, you're not like struggling getting your Mimighoul names, especially Master with Throne. But other than that, I think this is like a pretty good lineup to have for the Mimighouls. That is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15. You drop the Master to 1, that's 14. And then you're still playing, you know, the rest of the Mimighoul, which you've got 3 of the field spell, which, oh my gosh, this card is so MVP, with 2 Maker and then 3 Room. So I opt to not play Fork or Charm. Charm is pretty gimmicky, and if I were to play it, I would only play it at 1. And then Fork, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's very situational if you want to play it, because most of the times your opponent's going to give you that option to draw 2. So we just opt to not play it anyhow. But yeah, this is just really solid. You want to optimize on room as much as possible, so that way you're able to have a conjunction of room and dungeon to be able to set something to your opponent's side of the field and then just like kind of combo off from there, so that way, or lock them, sorry. But yeah, that's like pretty standard. And then I still played a Kashtira engine, which we saw 3 Unicorn, 1 Fenrir, and then 1 Birth. I am thinking about dropping the Fenrir, and if not keeping the Fenrir, dropping a Unicorn and then playing a Theosis, since a lot of the times we do Xyz plays, especially if we see this engine, we are most likely going to Xyz anyhow. But seeing that, seeing a Theosis could really help getting into Fenrir switching that, and then like Birth, we just either draw or next turn around we get the Unicorn. But that would also constitute me changing up the extra deck just a little bit, but that's for something that I'm thinking about. Birth was really great. It came in clutch in one of the duels, being able to just remove stuff from the grave, especially since my opponent needed it, so we were able to out that. And the rest is just hand traps. We are playing 3 copies of Shifter, because this deck can play around Shifter, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Imperm, 2 talents, and then 1 call by. So if I do drop the Master down to 1, my last thought would probably be Prosperity. Because in my last round, I could have definitely used a Prosperity to just dig into resources, since we weren't using most of our extra deck anyhow. So that would have been like really helpful in that situation. And then speaking of extra deck, we're playing 1 Shaw Window, which I'm honestly probably going to cut from here on out. This just never came up, never had a way to get into it. That didn't stay consistent with the Mimighoul line that we were like wanting to go for. So this and the Construct will probably go out. But we do play 2 Giant Mimighoul with 1 Throne, and then we still are playing the Tantrum Toddler. I do want the Assembled Nightingale and the Kiki Fugiminochi, whatever that card is, the 2 rank ones. For now though, the Tantrum Toddler worked in its place. I definitely think playing 2 Giant Mimighoul is really great, because then you get 1 on going first, and then if they out it, then you've got a second one to go around. Something that was really nice was Room, being able to bounce both of these 2. So like, if I weren't able to get like the Throne resolved, I just bounce it with Room, which was really nice. Then to wrap up the X-Seeds, we are playing 1 Downerd, 1 Star Slayer, and 1 Zeus, which in my last round I should have Zeused at a really critical spot, and I didn't, and that's probably what cost me really that game and that round, to be honest. Typhon never came up, but I still highly recommend playing Typhon. And then for our links, we play 1 Relinquished Anima, which we never saw. We saw IP, which was really good in getting into Underworld Goddess, which we are playing. 1 Construct, which we're going to drop. Moon, oh my goodness, this card was so great, being able to out one of my opponent's cards. SP didn't put in as much work as I wanted, but it's fine. 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and then an MVP, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. So if anything, I would definitely up this link line just a little bit, changing the Construct and the window already, and then probably adding in another rank 7 somewhere in here. But yeah, probably also like access code to help solidify for games. We were playing Beauregard Dragon before, but Beauregard with this new way of building it, or new way of playing it, doesn't really help out a ton. So there's that also to think about. And then onto our side. So like our side, both rounds 2 and 3 were really key. So we start off with 3 copies of Molcharmi Perulia and 3 copies of Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. We don't have Flawless, which is fine. Perulia was able to do its work, especially when we get Shifter Perulia. So I mean, we were able to draw some cards off of that. It was just funny that we drew Shifter. Then for board breakers, we are playing 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Duster, and then 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Till this day, I will always play Evenly Matched. It's just such a great card. Seeing these 2 in conjunction in round 2 was just so nice. Honestly, this was like really great, and like that round 3 as well. Seeing the Charmy with the Shifter was also really great, which that match was also pretty good. Learned a lot from it, being able to play around the Power Sync Stone with Maker, and just being able to use our normal summons. That way we could just go into Tantrum Toddler. So that's a funny card, right? So he ended with Nightingale since he was under Shifter, and then this had a boost over the Nightingale, so we were okayed. We just swung over it, Downerd, Zeus, and then just Zeus the board, getting rid of the Power Sync Stone, and we still had a Zeus material for his turn. That match was pretty fun. Shout out to my opponent. He was really great about it. And then round 4, should have Zeused a lot sooner. But that is it for this local diaries. Guys, let me know what you think of Mimighoul. I know I'm like late to the party playing it, but hey, I'm here. We're going to play it for a bit. It's probably one of my new favorite pet decks. But that's it, everyone. We'll pass it over to you.